It's a lovely evening in Chattanooga, Tennessee, as two teams that have started their seasons on the right foot do battle here at CHI Memorial Stadium. It's the Chattanooga Red Wolves and the Richmond Kickers, presented by Transcard. Welcome one and all to the broadcast. My name is Mark Schoenster. The fans are ready for this game. I'm ready for this game, and I'm sure you all are as well here on ESPN+. Two teams that start off the season with 4 points, both undefeated coming into this one. The Richmond Kickers looking to find their first ever points on the road in Chattanooga. They haven't had a ton of luck against the Red Wolves. Meanwhile, Chattanooga looking to get into the swing of the season. Their high-octane offense, their style of play is tough to play, and so they're trying to get into the swing of things. As we check out our player to watch for the Chattanooga Red Wolves, our WDEF player to watch, Brian Beeman, one of the new faces on the Red Wolves side of things. He'll be sitting alone at the top of the formation, so they'll be looking to thread the ball to him and challenge Akira Fitzgerald over between the sticks, who get a look at here. Akira Fitzgerald had his hands full last weekend against Northern Colorado Hailstorm, but the savvy veteran, he's up for the challenge whenever that is the case. When Darren Sawatsky gets the chance to talk about Fitzgerald, he has nothing but fantastic things to say about the goalkeeper. You can see this effort right here, won him save of the week. He's just the kind of guy that can win you some games that maybe you could argue you didn't deserve to win. Not saying that was the case last weekend, but the fact of the matter is when his name is called, he is up for the challenge. With that in mind, we'll step aside for one moment. When we come back, we'll have lineups and kickoff coming up next on ESPN+.
What's the latest buzz? It's Ford's fresh lineup of SUVs. Get great offers on the vehicles people are talking about, like Ford Escape, an SUV that drives like a car, Bronco Sport, where the terrain never intimidates, and Ford Explorer, the all-time best-selling SUV. Need we say more? Don't wait. Find out what all the buzz is about at your local Ford dealer. For the latest offers on Ford SUVs or to build and order your select Ford, visit your local Ford dealer today.
I get asked by my friends back home all the time, why did you move to Chattanooga? Affordability? Check. An amazing outdoors? Yep. Fantastic food? Check. But there's one box that not even Silicon Valley can check. EPB's gig. Thanks to fiber-fast internet with upload speeds that no one else can touch, moving to Gig City was a no-brainer. I look back on my journey with gratitude, and I look forward to a life of smooth streaming and free street parking on Sundays. Yeah.
Good times, bad times, and everything in between. Your primary care doctor is with you all the way.
One more.
One more.
One more, please.
One more, guys, one more. Set, up.
Hey, kid. Yeah, we'll take one more.
Oh, one more.
Wow!
It's the Red Wolves and the Richmond Kickers, presented by Transcard. Today's Walkout Kids brought to you by Brainerd Baptist School, one of the area's top Christian private elementary schools in Chattanooga, Tennessee. As we get a look at them now, can you imagine being able to hold the hands of some of those professional players as they walk out onto the pitch? That's a dream come true, I am certain, for them. Let's take a look at our starting lineups now for these two sides, starting with the home team, the Chattanooga Red Wolves. I mentioned it before, Brian Beeman is going to sit all alone up top in this 4-5-1 formation. We'll see how that midfield is configured. Some new faces, some familiar ones. The pairing of Luna and Kapazuki may be a fixture throughout this season. And one thing that's worth noting is any of those 10 guys that are not between the pipes, they can score. And they've shown it already this season. They showed it last season. This is a team that they can find goals from anywhere. Now looking at the Richmond Kickers, a lot more familiar faces on this side of things. The core that Darren Sawatsky's been able to build here in now his 3rd season. It's a really consistent group. They are not going to be shaken by any crazy extracurriculars or roaring fans. They are a savvy group, and one of them is Nil Vinyals. As we take a look at his fast start to the season, he didn't have an injury going into the preseason like last year, so he's been able to get into the swing of things right from the kick. This is a guy that Darren Sawatsky thinks is really capable of pulling the strings, dictating the tempo, and really coordinating the way their offense attacks and how they get back on defense. Just a valuable asset to this Richmond Kickers team. You notice in that graphic, and you can see it now in person, the debut of these away kits for the Richmond Kickers. They're red, white, and blue, or as they call it on social media, they're red, white, and roux. Meanwhile, the Chattanooga Red Wolves donning their all-red home uniforms. So take a look at our Center for Sports Medicine injury report. A lot more on the Red Wolves side of things. Still getting guys back into the country. Some guys who just weren't healthy to start the year. And to be quite frank, Jimmy Obleda said it's a tough way to play the way we play. And so you've got to be in your best shape to be able to take the pitch and play Chattanooga Red Wolves soccer. Jonathan Bolaños, of course, unfortunately got injured in their last U.S. Open Cup game. So he'll be out for this one. Now we'll take a look at our ASA engineering keys to the game. Jimmy Obleda was quick to highlight Emiliano Terzaghi when talking about his opponents. He said that he's the X factor. He's the guy we've got to make sure does not have space to operate. Meanwhile, on the Richmond Kicker side of things, Darren Sawatsky mentioned that this is a team that will have to play for 90 minutes because the Red Wolves won't quit until it's over. And we are underway here from CHI Memorial Stadium. It's the Kickers and the Red Wolves on ESPN+. Richmond will be going from right to left. Meanwhile, the Red Wolves will go left to right here. So we hear the drumming and the chants of the Red Wolf faithful. See the suites above the stands now complete and ready to go. Every time we come to this Chattanooga venue, it does feel like there's another new feature, and that will continue to build out throughout this season and into the future. It is a palace, and there's a lot of respect held for it by this Red Wolves organization. Talking to Coach Obleda, he mentioned that as far as getting into the swing of things this year, he said things are going. He said that we are gradually getting everything moving these first few weeks. The players are learning and growing game by game. And yeah, there's a mental element to it, just understanding how you want to play. But the bigger thing for the Red Wolves that Obleda couldn't stress enough was the physical requirements, as Terzaghi nearly gets the ball given to him inside the 18. He booted up the pitch to Brian Beeman. This just takes a lot of running, a lot of fieriness if you want to be a Chattanooga Red Wolf, and quite frankly, that takes not just a working pair of legs, but one that is in prime fit condition. So definitely more of an ease into the season for Chattanooga. The nice thing on the Richmond side of things is that you've got a ton of players coming back for their second, third, fourth year who are very familiar with playing for the Kickers, playing with Darren Sawatsky, playing this system. So they can get the season started and go. They don't have to worry too much about implementation. Of course, you've got some new players and some new tweaks to the system, but the fact of the matter is it's going to be a bit easier of a road to start the year. That kind of consistency can help. Last time out, the Kickers drew to Northern Colorado, one of the new expansion sides this season. was a 1-1 draw at City Stadium. According to Darren Sawatsky, the head coach, he said that a draw was an accurate assessment of the game. He said that both sides made some mistakes that a healthy team would not make. He mentioned missing Bolaños. He thought that he could have been real handy in that game. The speed that Bolaños provides to this Richmond team really exposed back lines if they bite too far forward. But alas, that was not the case, and both teams went home with a goal and a point. Had a foul drawn by Emiliano Terzaghi. Of course, the two-time reigning Golden Boot winner. Talking about guys returning for second, third years. His third season with the Richmond Kickers. Here's Bentley, one of the newcomers. Espinoza is able to get by Bentley and draw the foul. Sebastian Kapazuki, a guy who sat on the bench at stretches last season. He's now elevated to one of those starting center back spots. We'll be relying on him to be, well, reliable this season. There's a good turn and push forward. Chattanooga on the prowl. The shot goes towards goal. And Akira Fitzgerald, his first challenge of the day, and he falls on top of that shot. Aaron Lombardi scored in their last game, and he was the one to let it fly there. This guy's on the back line, showing the ability to drive down the pitch a little bit. And that's an underrated shot. That is not easy, both for its low placement and its speed, but also the skipping on the turf. It's not exactly the easiest to predict. I mentioned that goal he scored last weekend. Aaron Lombardi was one of 3 goal scorers in a game at WakeMed Soccer Park. All in the second half, too. It was a 3-1 victory. They went down 1-0 to start in the first half. And then Chattanooga in the second were able to notch in 3. And I don't know what it is about Chattanooga and going to WakeMed, but they score some fantastic goals when they go visit North Carolina FC. And those 3 goals on the weekend were no exceptions. There's Mensingen. Veering down the left side. Not a bad cross going in. No one's there to catch it. Heavy touch from Bentley. He's going to clap in frustration. Getting it right back to the home side. Talking about that game, Jimmy said that North Carolina game was interesting for us. He said that North Carolina is better than they were last year. And he mentioned that they weren't as sharp and tight as they needed to be defensively. He mentioned he was frustrated with their mentality in the first half. He wanted them to be braver on the ball, take more risks. He said, if you're afraid of losing, you're going to lose. Now, of course, the mentality changed in that second half and things worked for the better. There's the head honcho for the home side as we speak of him. Handy feet of Stuart Ritchie, one of the new acquisitions to the Richmond Kickers this season. That looks to be another staple in this starting 11. Has now started all 3 games, has played every minute thus far. definitely got the background to be another asset on this team. Mizuki does well there to knock the ball away from Terzaghi. That's priority number 1 for Chattanooga defensively today. It's Carlos Aviles on the vault. If you're a League One fan following the league for the past few years, that's a name that you're familiar with. Was with Tormenta last season, and then prior to that was a member of North Texas. So not a new name by any stretch of the imagination in USL League One. Well done by Mentingen. Tried to play it out wide, but it's intercepted by Richie. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL League One. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select League's choice, player's choice. Swatsky going with the rolled up sleeves today. It's about 71 degrees right now in Chattanooga. I'm sure it will dip down as the sun sets. Still getting into the spring, summer heat. Certainly could get chilly here. That one headed up and into the safe arms of Aviles. There's a closer look at the keeper. 11 years younger than Akira Fitzgerald. Sitting at 23 years old, Carlos Aviles. For those of you in Central Virginia watching at Gus's, shout out to the watch party for the Richmond Kickers. Always show up nicely at City Stadium and are sure having a good time, having a couple of drinks and maybe some finger food as well. And here come the Red Wolves straight down the gut. Brian Beeman chasing his way forward. He's knocked down. No nonsense defending from Nathan Awney. Stephen Payne. He'll play it up the pitch. Terzaghi in the right corner. He's able to get that cross off. Bentley goes up for it. It's going through the ball, or the line, but they're going to call it off. They're going to call it for interference. Nothing to come of it there. Colliding with Aviles. That's an impressive cross from Terzaghi. He runs right into Aviles. The whistle will be blown, and in the end, no harm, no foul. At least not on the score sheet. Lombardi continuing to show his tactfulness on the feet. And you hear that drumming, you hear the fans chanting, screaming. According to Darren Sawatsky, he talks about going to play at CHI Memorial Stadium. He says there's so much going on. He says a young player, a young guy, could get affected by it. He mentioned that we have a veteran roster, and they won't get rattled by the opposing fans. Of course, The Red Wolf faithful will do everything they can to disprove that. Fans, check out the new 2022 Chattanooga Red Wolves kit, along with t-shirts, scarves, novelty items, and much more at ChattanoogaRedWolves-SC.com. Espinoza continuing to defect passes or clearances. Pushing it all the way to Richmond's back line. Here's Payne moving forward. Going to send that to Bentley. He's got a lot of action to start off this first half. Mainly going through him when they gone up top. Matthew Bolduck's been quiet to start off the first 15 minutes. Lobos pops this one up the pitch, looking for Devin Benton. Here's Espinoza. Squares it across the pitch. Jose Carrera Garcia threads the needle. Villalobos can't turn around Ani, proving to be a tough out right now. Scouting out this Richmond side, Jimmy Obleda mentioned that, and I've been saying, they've been together for a few years now, have a good core of guys, but when talking about the keys to the game, that's where he pivoted to immediately after covering that base. He says, but it all boils down to their X factor, Terzaghi. He called him the conductor of the orchestra. And he said his team's gonna look and see how they are gonna try to free him up and get him space. They're going to do what they can to limit the passes going to Terzaghi. Any chance he gets at the ball is a dangerous one. I mean, you could see it in the corner over there, even on the facilitating side of things. He can whip out a cross even when his back is towards goal. I call that a Richmond throw. Head official today, Joshua Belt. Meanwhile, in the reverse, Darren Swatsky talking about the Chattanooga Red Wolves, he said that, we know with them, it's a full 90-minute game, and you got to be ready until that whistle blows. He also mentioned that Jimmy loves to wind players up, so you got to keep your eye on that. Lombardi crossing this inside for Beeman, and it's headed away by Ritchie. Metz again tries the half volley. Chattanooga trying to set up that offensive cycle that they love to get into, where teams get stuck with their backs against the wall trying to clear it, and it just goes back to that wall of midfielders and defensive players where they continue to just cycle through and attack and attack and attack. Terzaghi getting a mouthful from our head official today. He knows that this game could get pretty contentious. These are two very competitive, gritty sides, and they don't take light to losing, that's for certain. Lombardi. A feisty, loaded roster, Darren Swatsky called the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Said they will run up and down the pitch all game. Side chock full of energy. And he says the way they play, not exactly my cup of tea. He tries to be a little bit more concentrated and selective on when you want to bring the bursts of energy. But this Chattanooga side, the way they want to play. They want to keep it out of 100 for 90-plus minutes. So on the Richmond side of things, you have got to be vigilant at all times. This one up to Beeman, trying to hold up play on Ani. Here's Jose Carrera Garcia. What an important piece to get back this season. Villalobos all the way across the pitch to Espinoza. Puts it back inside, it's headed upward, still in danger. Takes a bounce, nodded away. Mensingen with the slow bike, the volley, well off the mark. Starting to get a couple more offensive chances here, Chattanooga, after bracing for the initial 10 or so minutes. Not a bad ball. Beeman completely misses it. He was right there. And the winding bicycle kick from Rafa Mensingen. Trying to test Akira Fitzgerald once again. So we're all square after 20 minutes. Today's Ball Kids brought to you by Rodriguez Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, devoted to giving you the best care, the best service, and the smile that you've always dreamed of. Not the clearance desired by Zaka Moran. Ani heads it out that time. I was going to say, it grazed off the head of Beeman, so it'll be a visitor throw in now. Stuart Ritchie on the ball. Pressure to score will continue to build for this Chattanooga side. One thing Jimmy Obleda said that was maybe a little bit candid to us this week. He mentioned that a weakness of this team, that can also be seen as somewhat of a strength, but he was looking at it on the more negative side. He said that we really rely on that first goal. He mentioned that there's a weight or pressure almost to get that first goal in. He feels it, his players feel it. He mentioned it feels like a rising water that as the game wears on, you can almost feel like it's drowning you when you don't have that goal and you feel like you're not able to score. And then he said, once we get that goal though, the players get so much looser and feel much more at liberty. It happened in that game against North Carolina. Once they got the first one in, everything started to flow. Terzaghi, his cross inside. It bounces inside the 18. No kicker there to rip their feet through it. There's Lombardi. They'll lay it off to Mensingen. Didn't score in that first half against North Carolina FC. And to be quite honest, it peeved Coach Obleda. He said, I just had enough. And although he's on the 18 today, he said he put in Ray Ortiz, told him that he needed to be a bad, bad man, to put it in PG terms. It was a little more descriptive when talking to us. He said, get them shaking in their boots. And Ray Ortiz went in, and his energy was contagious. And the entire team fell behind it. Ortiz scored. And then the rest of the story continued from there. So they have no Ortiz at their disposal today, so they will need someone else to be that catalyst. Espinoza takes to Mensingen, tried to find Beeman. Now Vignoles draws the foul. Terzaghi also went to ground. Didn't call the foul there, though. Here's a look at that. No call, and then the call. A bump from Rafa Mensingen is the one that earned the whistle. Chrysler lost it up the pitch, looking to connect with Payne. And the foul is called on Stephen Payne. Fouling Aaron Lombardi there. Some 22-on-22 action. Avila is a guy who's capable of distributing, so he'll be the one to take the free kick. Challenge there is going to earn the first booking of the day. Sebastian Kapazuki with the tackle right in front of the bench. We'll see that once again here. Just slices through Matthew Bolduc. It's Kapazuki's first yellow card of the season. He's played every minute so far this season. U.S.-Italian dual citizen. And Bolduc stale ailing after that one. That's a big man crashing in at high speed. Kapazuki standing at 6 feet tall. There's Coach Sawatsky. Third year as the head coach of the Richmond Kickers. Has been a coach in USL League One for all 4 years now. Or I guess you could say the past 3 years and now in its 4th year. So not only have we got a veteran team, you got a veteran coach in the league. Jimmy Obleda having been part of 2 of the 3 seasons prior and now in his 3rd year with the Red Wolves. So 2 coaches that are familiar with the lay of the land. Definitely not new faces like some of these other programs have. Vignoles will look to put in a nice ball. This one gets sent inside, bounces a couple times. The clearance sputters to Aviles. Now the Red Wolves going the other way. Villalobos knocked it just too far forward for Beeman. And it rolls into the palms of Akira Fitzgerald. It has been a busy, busy April for both of these clubs with the season starting, getting everyone in the swing of things. And you had the U.S. Open Cup. The Red Wolves lost their fixture against Louisville City. Meanwhile, the Richmond Kickers have their 3rd round game coming up this Wednesday against North Carolina Fusion. But if you bring that up to Coach Sawatsky, he says, we're not even thinking about Wednesday yet. Right now, all eyes are dotted on Chattanooga. He's happy with the health of his team, despite how tight the schedule has been. When you're only missing one guy. You look over at Chattanooga's side of things, you can count your blessings. He said we should be healthy and ready to go for the game on Saturday. Of course, they also have to worry about getting into match shape. No one is in mid-season fitness at the beginning of the year, hence the term. So Nathan Ani is going to launch this one in. I like what he can bring from these throw-ins. Yeah, and really put some air underneath it. Here it comes. Ani is able to win another throw in there off of Espinoza. Ball comes swinging in, headed upward. Bolduc puts it down. And now Villalobos taking down the pitch once again. Mentingen gets past one man, working on Ritchie. Mentingen still going. Rafa Mentingen into the corner. There's a fleet of kickers around him now. He's able to get it away despite that fact. Chattanooga fans, Coca-Cola is the exclusive soft drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Corona plays it out to the left for Lombardi. Are a third of the way through this game. Both sides have asked some questions, but at the end of the day, I'd say that Akira Fitzgerald has been the one who has been tested more often or has had more scary situations fly by him. That missed cross to Beeman, and then the early shot by Lombardi in the game. Aviles hasn't had that kind of challenge yet, but the kickers by no means have been short of offensive possessions. Had that one chance with Bentley that technically crossed the goal line, but not without some interference. The reigning champs race their way to the Midwest to face a new look Indy 11 as the USL on ESPN continues. Don't miss the Indy 11 take on Orange County SC Sunday, April 24th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. There's Bolduc. I'm going to whistle. He's going to foul off the ball. Don't think Bolduc was offside there. Rafa Mentingen slow to get up. So action resumes. Chattanooga still getting some of their players in. International guys came in just last Friday, not yesterday, but the week prior. Jimmy Obleda mentioned that we need to be delicate about bringing them back in. He said that you don't win the title in April. And he said that these guys aren't ready to play our style immediately. We have to ease them into it. Talks about how demanding the team is, tons of running, especially in transition. He said we have to be smart. We don't want to ruin any hamstrings here. Plus, they want to peak at the right moment. So if their form isn't at its best in April, May, even June, it's not the end of the world if you can be peaking come September, October, November. That's when cups are lifted. Jose Carrera-Garcia able to thread that one forward. Espinoza has been all over the pitch today. It's knocked out by Bentley. Heavily involved. Ernesto Espinoza, one of the new additions, also goes by Mo. Tell you what, sometimes I feel like these League One games should require an Obleda camp. He's always animated on that sideline. We'll go all the way back to Aviles. He's able to distribute that one just out of the reach of Bentley. Lombardi dashing all the way down the pitch to put pressure on Akira Fitzgerald. That ball seemed well out of his reach, but he caught up to it. It was within range. Bentley, too much air under that one. Bulldog working on the ball once again, trying to connect with Richie. But it's escorted out of play by Josue Cartagena. So this one will go all the way back to Chrysler. Returning for a second year as one of the starting center backs for the Kickers. Payne trying to roll it to Bentley. Now Audie on this other end is not taking kindly to a ball flying his way. He has been handy. Last time these two teams met was last year late in the season. Kickers won that game 1-0 at City Stadium. A much needed point on their side of things as they were pushing for the playoffs. Terzaghi once again crosses it inside for Bentley, just over his head. Pulled off that 180 cross again, proving that it wasn't some sort of coincidence that he was able to pull it off the first time. Bulldog looking to find Terzaghi, but placed it too far ahead of him. This is a venue, plus if you can't count before the building of CHI Memorial Stadium, as this one swings inside. Bentley puts too much underneath it. He had Vignoles as well as Terzaghi there. Here comes Dakota Barnathan. Coming over from FC Tucson. Terzaghi now. Back. And it's going to be called for a hand. Swatting it down. He's not capable of always having an ethereal touch, Emiliano Terzaghi. Had his arm out away from his torso just a little bit. And it was enough to bring that ball down. Chattanooga fans, body armor is the official sports drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Vinyals halfway to ground, still trying to hold up the play. Now here's Jose Carrera Garcia. Off the mark, looking for Mensingen. And sliding in is Akira Fitzgerald. Another fun fact about this series, and of course they've played quite a few times, both being original members of USL League One. There's always been a winner. Never has this one ended in a draw. Bentley, once again, too much juice on the cross. Chattanooga fans, Ford is the official domestic car partner of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Stuck in a corner here. Luckily able to boot it out. Chrysler will take it back to Ani. Here's Stuart Ritchie once again. Can he keep this one in play? And he's able to do so right at the goal line. Play it back up to Moran. Nice guy to have your back. Zaka Moran. So solid last season, so reliable for the kickers. Now Barnathan. Gives it over to Payne. He can't keep it in play. Just crossed the touchline. May have been a handball. Here they come again. Bolduc pokes it inside. Vinyals with a turn. Looked like it came off a boot. It's still in play though. Payne back in the middle. Terzaghi with the header. And it goes off the dome of Kapazuki. So it will be our first corner kick of the day. We're over 40 minutes into this one. So we'll get to see our first set piece opportunity, really. Just kept in. Cross from Payne. Terzaghi looking to rifle that towards goal. It's our first forward corner kick of the day. And here's Vinyals. Low swinging ball gets knocked right out. It'll still be a Richmond throw. Looking to apply the pressure before the half comes to its expiration. I'd like to test Carlos Aviles, who at this moment has got the starting role in his clutches, according to Jimmy Obleda. He said, Carlos is my guy. He said he gave me confidence in that Lou City game. He's good on the ball, good at distributing. Did want to mention, though, that Tor Saunders, also not a bad option, has been solid. He said, right now, Carlos is number one, but that doesn't mean we won't see Saunders in some of these games. If need me to ask if Akira Fitzgerald is the guy in Richmond, then I would assume you're probably new here, because that guy is not going anywhere. Bolduc. High ball inside Bentley. Look to bring it down. He's able to get it to Ritchie, lunging for that ball. Stuart Ritchie. Service inside, headed upward by Kapazuki. Lombardi able to knock it out of the 18. Payne once again now. Heavy touch from Payne, and Lombardi clears it away. It's still Richmond possession. They're getting closer and closer, the Richmond kickers. It was an interesting cross from Stuart Ritchie a moment ago, looking for Terzaghi, the Argentine. So now they've got the arm talent, as it were, Nathan Ani. Lofts this one into the 18. Bolduc brings it down. Another whistle is blown. A little too excited there, Matthew Bolduc. Couple of hands on the back, pushing a player down. One more minute, plus whatever the ref decides to add on. I wouldn't assume it's a lot. This game's been pretty free-flowing for the most part. Saw just a moment ago, we had our first corner kick. Villalobos trying to tee that right back to Beeman. Once again, working on Payne. He's not going to get past him. Stephen Payne, the better half there in that duel. Richmond going to get a free kick. I'm hearing 2 minutes of stoppage time, which I would say is a fair assessment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated 2 minutes of stoppage.
Devin Benton also goes by DJ, nodding that one out. After 45 minutes, I would say both teams have pretty much gone blow for blow. Vignoles out wide to Ritchie. Oh, went for the rolling ball. Gets a second take at it. Vignoles somehow brings it down. No, Vignoles still going. Chips it in. Couldn't get the boot on it just the right way. And that was Bentley. That was around it. That one will go out for a goal kick. Game has pretty much ebbed and flowed between the two sides equally. Again, I would say really the only difference is that Chattanooga has 1 shot on target to Richmond's 0. But outside of that, neither side has allowed too much of a crease. About half a minute left to go in this one. We'll see if Chrysler just puts us in the play or if he decides to launch it up the pitch for one last go before the whistle. There's Moran. Bentley veering around. Barnathan getting chased. And Joshua Belk won't waste any more time. After 45 plus 2, it is 0-0 between the Red Wolves and the Richmond Kickers, both sides having the flow of the game at 1 or 2 occasions. And I think neither side truly challenging the keeper between the pipes for either Aviles or Akira Fitzgerald. And with that, we're gonna step aside for a moment, but do not close the app, turn off your TV or whatever you're using to view this program. We've got some great halftime content coming up your way on ESPN+, so do stick around if you will.
The day the world stopped was the day we found where to go. From now on, we're not going to leave anything on our plates because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there, and they never tasted this good.
If your tamer passions include climbing, hang gliding, and river surfing, some may call you a hair-on-fire risk taker. We'd say, nah. They might not realize you're also a nonconformist, craft curator, history buff, art-loving experience collector. But ask a Chattanoogan, we just call you one of us.
Chattanooga Red Wolves play their first match of the new year.
Here comes Chattanooga now. Puts it in! Finds the back right corner.
What's the latest buzz? It's Ford's fresh lineup of SUVs. Get great offers on the vehicles people are talking about, like Ford Escape, an SUV that drives like a car, Bronco Sport, where the terrain never intimidates, and Ford Explorer, the all-time best-selling SUV. Need we say more? Don't wait. Find out what all the buzz is about at your local Ford dealer. For the latest offers on Ford SUVs or to build and order your select Ford, visit your local Ford dealer today.
Chattanooga for halftime between the Red Wolves and the Richmond Kickers, their first meeting of the 2022 season. And although we're beginning just this Week 3 weekend, the beginning to the Week 2 weekend was rather chaotic between Central Valley Fuego and the Charlotte Independents, both teams getting a brace, which continues an interesting trend that Chris Makoviak is going to dive more into next.
Taking the lead.
Great finish. Cue the smoke.
It's a goal for Orange County SC and their first of the season.
And that's full time. The old guard with a new trophy. Orange County wins the USL Championship final.
It's 2022, and I guess League One got the memo. It's been all about the twos to start the season. Let's take it to Chris to learn more.
2 weeks of USL League One soccer. We might already have a nominee for Game of the Year over in Charlotte at Memorial Stadium. We start with Mbuyu, deflection off the wall for his first of the match. We'll tune back in for him later on. And then, of course, Fuego responding just 7 minutes later with a finish in there by Ramos. And a beautiful layoff at that as they hit the road in what was yet another road trip for them in their opening campaign as a side here in USL League One. Well, 2 and 7 minutes. Let's make it 3 and 9 minutes, as it was Ibarra. Great touch in there, and Buyu finishes off his brace here to start off his campaign here in 2022. Then a flick on, tied it up from Fuego in the 81st. And then, hey, there's another duty, puts one in. 3-2, Charlotte getting the 3 points at home, but hey, Fuego, they had other thoughts. Knocked away. Bijev finds his second of the night with a bit of magic in there, and 2 opposing braces right there between the two sides. Fantastic finish, 3-3 between Charlotte and Fuego last weekend. 5th time overall opposing players having braces in USL League One history. Well, let's visit the other 2 braces to start off 2022 in the league. Viñals had his second career brace here in USL League One against Tucson in the opening weekend, a 4-0 win for Richmond at City Stadium. And Viñals, watch this here, he's going to be lethal with that secondary run behind Terzaghi all season. He finds his second, the assist from Bolaños to help out Richmond to the win. That was the first brace of the opening weekend, and there was another in the opening weekend. Back over to Fuego. Christian Cheney, great story, played with Fresno FC a few years ago in USL Championship. Now he's scoring for Fuego and gets the first one there against the Greenville Triumph. Beautiful opening here as he slotted that one on past Christensen to open the scoring at Triumph Stadium. Then later on, literally a poacher's goal in the back as Christensen got caught under his own feet there, and Cheney finished it off with a brace here to open up his campaign. And he did have a brace over with Fresno FC back in his USL Championship days, so his second career brace here across the USL leagues. 4 braces already through 8 matches, 199 matches with at least a brace to this point. Headed into the 200s as we continue our weekend here in USL League One. Coming up, we'll take a look at news and notes from around USL League One.
Why did you move to Chattanooga?
Hey, Chris, taking the load off of me for a little bit there for halftime content, but we're back underway here. Open Cup, of course, been one of the huge talking points. USL League One has done really well in that regard. Meanwhile, Fuego have got their head honcho, and the sporting director will no longer be the one on the pitch. And they got someone who's got experience with Bayern, who's been all over the place, so they are going to be happy with the kind of man leading the way. And on the pitch leading the way is Villian Bijev, player of the week for the Fuego. But in this game, we've got a couple appearances. Aaron Lombardi, who's impressed so far in this first half. And then 3 Richmond players in Chrysler, Fitzgerald, and, of course, Emiliano Terzaghi, all impressing in their games a week ago. It's been contentious so far to start this week 3. Leveled up in every single game that is happening at this moment. Garrett McLaughlin scoring to level it between the Triumph and North Carolina FC. Benton Evans, the other goal scorer, and we see the results from last Saturday, including Chattanooga's 3-1 victory over North Carolina FC. Meanwhile, the Independents and Hailstorm, 2 of the newcomers, doing battle to start things off. A lot of League One action happening today, that's for certain. Now, if you want to keep up with what League One's doing in the Open Cup, we've got a couple of those games this week. FC Tucson, Union Omaha, South Georgia Tormenta starting things off on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the Kickers will be underway on Wednesday. But how big is it that some of these teams get the chance to play MLS sides? There's the Kickers slate against North Carolina. Madison getting to host Minnesota United. How big of a fixture is that? In Greenville, in the same way, get to host Charlotte FC. Those are just massive moments for League One clubs, teams in the 3rd tier of U.S. soccer. Being able to host guys from the big league, from the MLS, just a huge honor just to even be to this point. You know, Richmond will definitely be looking to move on to the next round of the tournament against North Carolina Fusion. Meanwhile, we've got some more games coming to you next weekend, including the rivalry match between Greenville and South Georgia Tormenta. The Kickers will get their first look at the Charlotte Independents. Meanwhile, the Red Wolves will be playing the Greenville Triumph next Friday after that, so that's extended jump from. Now the Red Wolves get a little bit of a break. And we're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll have highlights and stats for you here on ESPN+.
I get asked by my friends back home all the time, why did you move to Chattanooga? Affordability? Check. An amazing outdoors? Yep. Fantastic food? Check. But there's one box that not even Silicon Valley can check. EPB's gig. Thanks to fiber-fast internet with upload speeds that no one else can touch, moving to Gig City was a no-brainer. I look back on my journey with gratitude, and I look forward to a life of smooth streaming and free street parking on Sundays. Yeah.
Good times, bad times, and everything in between. Your primary care doctor is with you all the way.
One more.
One more.
One more, please.
One more, guys. One more. Set. Hop.
Hey, kid. Yeah, we'll take one more.
Oh, one more.
Wow! Do it one more time. Do it one more time.
The day the world stopped was the day we found where to go. From now on, we're not going to leave anything on our plates because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there, and they never tasted this good.
Well, the sun has set. The orange is fading off into the distance here at CHI Memorial Stadium, and it's scoreless between the Red Wolves and the Kickers as we approach the second half. But before we do that, let's take a look at the first 45 minutes. So if you're just tuning in, here's a chance for you to catch up on what happened or what didn't happen in the first 45 minutes. And this is one of the biggest moments very early in the game. Aaron Lombardi testing Akira Fitzgerald, our only shot on target in the entire first 45. Defensively, both sides proving stout, but maybe more importantly, the offensive side of things still trying to get themselves calibrated and in tune with one another. This was a ball that went across the goal line, but as you could see there, Bentley bumping into Carlos Aviles, thus proving the effort moot once all was said and done. Cross from Terzaghi, and then here was another look from Vignoles. It went down, but Aviles was able to handle it. Now he's got to be careful when Nil Vignoles is serving up a free kick, even if it's from a long-range spot like it was in that occasion. As we take a look at the halftime stats, another one worth a throw at you while you're here soaking this all in. First off, 50-50 split, which kind of goes to show you it was an even affair in that regard. Emiliano Terzaghi, just 5 attempted passes in the first half. So if you're a Red Wolves fan, you're clapping because that was the goal, to slow down Terzaghi. If you're Richmond, you can look at it two ways. Either you're going to try and jar him loose in different ways, or you look at Bolduc and Bentley and see with the allotted space they're given, since the attention is on Terzaghi, let one of those other strikers operate and make something happen, or Vignoles behind them. But both coaches have had a chance to talk to their guys in the dressing room, and now we'll see what they're capable of doing in the second 45. It was 71 degrees when we started here. It's only dropped 3 degrees, but the sun has set. So maybe getting a little cooler as we wear into the second half here at Chattanooga. Once again, I'm Mark Schoenster on the call for you today. Two teams that in the infancy stages of the season are sitting at the top with 4 points. Both 1-0-1. So neither side has lost. But when these sides play each other, there's never been an occasion where they went away with a draw. Chattanooga leading the series 6-0-2. At home, they have won every single one of the fixtures. Last year was back in May, last time they played at CHI Memorial Stadium. It was a late Juan Galindrez goal, which started his lore of the 2021 season. Alex Anderson also scored in that game. Now plays for North Carolina FC. So a quick free kick awarded. Joshua Belkar, head official. And Vignoles in a nice spot here. Try to get this to maybe one of the big bodies, or of course Emiliano Terzaghi. Not a bad ball! And it's headed away. Clanked a couple heads there, but didn't end up getting put on frame. We're all the way back to Akira Fitzgerald, and he'll take his time to distribute. Again, Richmond have not collected even a point here in Chattanooga since the league's inception, since Chattanooga's inception, for that matter. Look to change that here tonight. No substitutions for either side to start off the second half. A lot of theatrics occurring there, extracurriculars. This game continues to be tight like it is right now. I'm sure the tempers will continue to flare. Got Jose Carrera Garcia getting a talking to after exchanging some words with Zaka Moran. Grizzlers ball finds Bentley. Bentley can't bring it down. So it goes back to the home side. Mentioned how frustrated he got with his team in the first half of the North Carolina game. Jimmy Obleda without a goal on the score sheet. We'll see if that pressure begins to mess with this Chattanooga side going into the second half as Menzigen has acres in front of him. Rafa Menzigen moving forward, cuts inside, takes the shot, but it's snuffed. Jalen Crisler able to provide some backup. Now Villalobos tries to get it to Carrera Garcia. Back to DJ Benton. That's a great touch from Lombardi. Menzigen squares it into the middle. No one's there for it. The follow-up shot! And the Chattanooga Red Wolves have taken the lead. Mo Espinoza is able to notch his first goal as a Red Wolf. Not much Akira Fitzgerald could do about that one. A blasting shot. Coming in late. That touch from Lombardi. One touch. Menzigen squares it in the middle. And he comes flying in from the right-hand side. And I was just talking about that pressure to score. Now the Red Wolves could feel loose. Mo Espinoza, coming from San Diego, California, just 22 years old. Was last with Albion San Diego. Has made the horizontal hop from NISA to USL League One. Just another one of those California kids that Jimmy Obleda loves to collect on this roster. So now the game shifts. Chattanooga on the front foot. And Richmond going to be pressed to score. Mensingen, a filthy touch there, leading into open space. Plays it out wide. Espinoza chips it inside. Villalobos. I think there was a flash in his eye, thinking about maybe trying the bike there, but in tight space, maybe could have been a little dangerous. And suddenly this game has opened up. Bentley is able to keep it in play in the corner. Moran. Stephen Payne with some room to work. Crosses this one in, the diving header. Puts that in play for a Richmond corner. Rather knock it out for a corner than let Terzaghi have a chance to touch that ball. Can the kickers find a quick response?
This corner kick brought to you by your local Ford dealer.
Is a forward corner kick for Richmond. Chattanooga yet to have one. Here comes the service. Beeman, the striker. Knocks this one out of play for yet another corner kick. Neil Vignoles once again will provide the service. Ball incoming, headed straight up into the air. And Espinoza, the goal scorer, is able to provide the clearance. Richmond went down a goal against Colorado, Northern Colorado, and were able to score in the second half, courtesy of Terzaghi. One thing Sawatsky said about that game is that both teams were heavy-legged, as the goal scorer is now down on the turf. Oh, Espinoza. Appeared in both games, came on as a sub in the North Carolina game. He's played now over 150 minutes plus. Clutching his left boot.
All digital displays in the stadium this evening are provided by Plainview LED. For any and all your digital display needs, Plainview LED.
Well, fans, check out the new 2022 Chattanooga Red Wolves kit, along with t-shirts, scarves, novelty items, and much more at ChattanoogaRedWolves-SC.com. You could be wearing what Espinoza has got on his person at this moment. I saw a couple of jerseys in the stands. Of course, if you're a Richmond fan, these road kits making their debut today, looking very nice, along with their green kits at home this season. Here's Bulldog, working one-on-one, cuts inside, tried to curl that one top shelf, punched away by Aviles. Came flying in. Won't let that one hover in his face. There's Vignoles. Benton got a touch there, so it'll still be Richmond ball. Should call in number 24. Yep, there he is. Nathan Ani. try to launch this one into the 18-yard box. And launch he does. Beeman heads it straight up. And Aviles comes down with it. I think both sides were happy to get a point last weekend when Richmond played Northern Colorado. Darren Sawatsky mentioned that given the exhaustion, the game wasn't as dynamic or exciting as it will be the next time they play. So I guess next time you see that one on the docket, be sure to tune in. Of course, we had an exciting one here today between two quality sides. Chattanooga have taken the lead, courtesy of Mo Espinoza. Aviles will walk this one out for a goal kick. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN+, the home of the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Long ball from Aviles. Moran will collect the scraps, only to give it back to Benton. There's Jorge Luna, the other half of the center back pairing, as Fitzgerald has to come well off his line to bring that one in before Menzigen can knock it down. Menzigen with his first assist of the season with the squared ball to Mo Espinoza. Difference in one thus far. Talk about Jorge Luna, Kapazuki. Benton and Lombardi have also been busy tonight. Talked about that back line. Jimmy Obleda mentioned in the first two games, could they be better? Yeah, but he mentioned that they were going to be tested today against this Richmond side. He said, how do we handle Terzaghi? And he mentioned that, look, this back line has got some talent that's still making its way back as Bolduc wins the ball in the attacking third. Matt Bolduc over into the right corner, plays it into the middle. Terzaghi got three men all around him. That one deflects back to Aviles. This is a back line right now that is missing Navarro. And then, of course, someone that Jimmy Obleda brought up, Nicholas Cardona. He's sitting on the bench today. He said that Cardona in particular, he thinks is going to be the best back in the league this season. So high praise for Cardona. So someone to keep your eye on in the future of this season for the Chattanooga Red Wolves. That's not praise you just dish out lightly. This one given away. Terzaghi immediately, it's knocked out of his possession by Jose Carrera Garcia, though. Hopeful ball from Lombardi. They won't get the assist. We're not playing hockey out here, but can't go without acknowledging once again his one touch to set up Rafa Menzigen was fantastic. There's some interference there on the clearance from Aviles. Matt Bentley providing the pressure.
Body Armor, the official sports drink of your
We are 2/3 of the way through this game. The Red Wolves with an early second half goal is the difference thus far. As our first substitutions look to get themselves ready for Jimmy Obleda's side. I talk about a side that has made a name for itself by having some impact substitutes. Some more of these players looking to follow in that trail. Now, some Red Wolves fans will be looking for the return of Juan Galindres, not on the 18 tonight, is back at Chattanooga, but much like everybody else, he too has to get reacclimated to the physical demands of being a Red Wolf. And then one of the other guys that comes to my mind, Marky Hernandez, now with the hailstorm. Richie can't keep it in play, but was able to knock it out of the feet of Espinoza. And we're going to get those substitutions now. So Cartagena comes out of the game for Andres Hernandez.
Number 21, Andres Hernandez. Leading for the Red Wolves, number 17, post-play.
And then the other substitution, David Teixeira coming into the game.
Number 9, David Teixeira. Leaving for Chattanooga, number 41, Ryan Beament.
Ryan Beament going to come out of the game. So our first two substitutes of the game. Mensingen lays it out wide. Espinoza with a good step, fires it towards goal. It didn't quite reach Akira Fitzgerald. Looks like that came off of either Ani or Jalen Chrysler. Them pesky center backs. That was Chrysler. And he'll take one to the face for his keeper, that's for certain. Espinoza looking to join the brace party that has started off this season in USL League One. So 63 minutes into this game, we finally have a Chattanooga corner kick. Brought to you by Ford. So Espinoza will be the one to provide the service. Chattanooga were fun about being tricky on these corner kicks and set pieces last week against North Carolina FC. This one looks like a more standard approach. This ball swinging inside. Mensingen was able to wind up. Couldn't get a good connection on the ball though. Luna tried to redirect it on target as well. Espinoza, look at that footwork. Crossing it inside, the header comes down. And it's cleared away. Now Lombardi. Benton. And there was a thought about the volley, then opted to be wiser. Espinoza. Another cross comes in, now one off the mark. How about Mo Espinoza there, showing off some footwork. As we get our first Richmond substitution. Leonardo Baima is going to come into the game. Ball luck won't make his way for him. The 29-year-old Argentine. Talk about how Jimmy Obleda loves those guys from California. Darren Sawatsky continuing to add to his selection of Argentine players. Vignoles dishes it out wide to the left. Ball coming inside for Bentley! Oh, it's off the mark. Matthew Bentley sliding in, looking to connect. The Englishman couldn't put it on frame. What a great ball from Baima. Just coming into the game and servicing up a beautiful ball. That's one you're going to want back. If you're just joining us from some of the League One games that kicked off at 7 that just finished, welcome in. the difference in this one. Starting into the second half, a great touch from Aaron Lombardi, set up Rafa Mensigan, who squared it across the 18-yard box. And then the late run from Mo Espinoza came crashing in and just blasted it towards that. No hope for Akira Fitzgerald. And that's the difference between the Red Wolves and the Kickers. Greenville, North Carolina drawing 1-1. Meanwhile, the Charlotte Independents notching in a goal late in the game to win 2-1 against Northern Colorado. So their first ever win as a League One side, the Independents. As we get some extracurriculars after a player went down. Baima just getting subbed into this game. Joshua Belk needing to keep the peace. Chattanooga spotless at home versus the Richmond Kickers. They've won every single fixture and have had the upper hand in the series. 6-0-2 is their record against the Kickers. So some intent talking to from our head official, Jorge Luna, intently listening as everyone else crowds around Joshua Bell. We'll see what the fallout of this is.
Body Armor, the official sports drink of your Chattanooga Red Wolves. Upgrade your sports drink. Try Body Armor.
So it'll be a free kick for the Richmond Kickers. Bentley, Moran, Terzaghi all around the ball. Could cross this in. This, in theory, could be a shot straight up from the spot. It'll be Terzaghi. He can't get it past the wall. Down it goes, and away it goes. Back to Jalen Chrysler. Stephen Payne trying to find Bentley. So it's going to roll out harmlessly for a goal kick. Kickers have a 15-game unbeaten streak right now at home at City Stadium. That streak dates all the way back to May 2021. They're looking to translate that success on the road, find themselves down a goal. Meanwhile, on the home side here for Chattanooga, had their first sellout game against Forward Madison for the home opener this season. This place continues to grow. Right now, the venture is the clubhouse. That's the next addition to the facilities. Training rooms, locker rooms, etc. And then the press box, which will be on the side of the pitch you're viewing this game from. So if you sit in the stands over there where you can see across the pitch, you'll be able to see the press box. Of course, it'll be right under the noses of our cameras here. Mensingen down the left flank. He can't get past Moran, but it will be a Chattanooga corner kick, brought to you by your local Ford dealer.
This Red Wolves corner kick brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Back of the net, Red Wolves. We go.
So Chattanooga with a chance to expand upon their lead here. Jose Carrera Garcia readies himself. Here it comes. Only Jalen Chrysler there for it. Service back inside, and it's hoofed over the crossbar. Sebastian Kapazuki in a prime spot. The center back couldn't get it done. Here's a look back at it. T back inside, and Kapazuki just couldn't quite time the bounce just clips off of his foot. A sputtering effort at best. Villalobos wins it back. We've got a rogue ball on the pitch. So we're going to get a free kick for the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source of engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. Way too much on that one. Looking for Bima. Under 20 minutes to go now, plus added time. Here's some slippage through. Villalobos plays it towards goal. The save by Fitzgerald. Menzigan collects the save. Veering around, tucks it towards. And Fitzgerald, ultimately, not a lot of speed behind that ball. Villalobos' shot. That one had some heat packed behind it. Today's Bald Kids brought to you by Rodriguez Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, devoted to giving you the best care, the best service, and the smile that you've always dreamed of.
Entering the match for Richmond.
So we got another substitution after that ball skated wide of Matthew Bentley. Vincenzo Candela going to make his way into the game. Jalen Chrysler going to come out of the game. So a midfielder coming in for a center back. So maybe going to shift the formation, apply more pressure. Time is becoming of the essence for Richmond. Now the mission won't be, I mean, there's still a lot of time, but priority will be just getting a point before even thinking about the victory. Got to find an equalizing goal. Maybe Candela, wearing number 99, can join Espinoza, who is donning the same numbers in the goal-scoring category. A superstitious thought.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has presented the yellow card to Chattanooga's number 6, Jimmy.
So Jimmy Villalobos will collect his 3rd yellow card of the season. Check that. He will go into the books. It's not his 3rd of the season, though. Now looking back at it, it's actually Mo Espinoza, the one who will get the yellow card.
This corner kick sponsored by your local Ford dealer.
Here's Payne, crossing this one inside. Takes a bounce inside the 18 and then is knocked away by Villalobos. Chattanooga fans, Coca-Cola is the exclusive soft drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Here's Vinyals. He gets knocked out of his possession. Or actually, it's his own doing. It'll be a goal kick. Joshua Belk has had to do a lot of talking today with these two teams. Luckily, it's kept things from getting too testy between players. So some preventative measures on that front. We got 3 more substitutions coming your way. We got Pedro Hernandez is going to come in for Rafa Mensingen. You've got Jorge Paez making his Chattanooga Red Wolves debut. And then Nicholas Cardona will also make his way into the game. Mo Espinoza, the goal scorer, making way for Cardona.
Also entering the match for Chattanooga, number 14, Pedro Hernandez. Leaving for the Red Wolves, number 7, Rafa Mensingen. Also entering for the Red Wolves, number 20, Jorge Paez. Leaving for the Red Wolves, number 6,
And Jimmy Villalobos, the last one to leave the pitch for Jorge Paez. The Venezuelan, coming from Portuguesa FC, which is in the Venezuelan Premier Division. Coming off a 5-goal, 3-assist season last year. A lot of high praise for Paez coming into this week from Jimmy Obleda. Teixeira plays it out to the right side for Jose Carrera Garcia.
The clock hits the 80th minute. Beer will no longer be available at Stadium Conception.
We're going to get a goal kick after some disdain from the fans after that body from Zaka Moran. Maybe an arm thrown in there a little bit. Hernandez making his way forward. He's dashing along that Richmond perimeter. That'll go out for a goal kick for Akira Fitzgerald. Time is of the essence here for Richmond. Chattanooga fans, Body Armor is the official sports drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Touch not quite right from Candela. He was getting pressured from 2 sides. That'll be a Chattanooga throw-in as we approach the 80-minute mark. In the 50th minute, a Rafa Mensingen pass across the 18, found the boot of Mo Espinoza, and he did well with it once he was able to find it. It's a 1-0 game in favor of the Red Wolves. Aviles will have to take on the duty of knocking that ball out of play as they use another one for the throw-in. 10 more minutes plus added time. Some pressure here. And that's going to award the Red Wolves. Lombardi will play it back. And this gets to the point where the home side could be content sitting on the ball a little bit and just letting that clock wind down. But knowing Jimmy Obleda's side, they will continue to push. off the left-hand side. Looking to roll that one in. Candela plays it back to Payne. Has some room to run with. Payne crosses it inside. Well headed away by Benton. Bima back into the middle, off the boot of Vignoles. That one bouncing its way up the pitch and out of play. Payne will quickly throw this one back in. It's gonna be a while before Richmond have their next home game. It's May 7th, and it'll be the Henny Derby against Madison. It's fixing up to be a Kickers homecoming game. Here, a ton of players are coming back for that one. So if you're a Kickers fan, you'll mark your calendars. Not that you need another reason to, since Fort Madison's coming to town. Always love a good rivalry game. We got another corner kick here for Richmond. Can they break through? Vignoles swings it inside. It's knocked away. Candela holds. He gives it back to Vignoles on the left side. And Vignoles may have been offside. We're going to get a yellow card. Chattanooga fans, Ford is the official domestic car partner of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. So that ball gets taken down the pitch. Over 80 minutes through this game, and the Richmond Kickers yet to have a shot on target. I said earlier that the peace had been kept on the pitch for the most part. But some unkind words being exchanged here. Moran goes into the books. The second yellow card of the season.
Ladies and gentlemen, this evening's attendance, 2,236 in attendance tonight.
There's a late challenge there from Jose Carrera Garcia. Two guys familiar with each other, both returning this season from last year. Push from Stuart Ritchie there. Wins the ball back for the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Five more minutes to go in this one, plus whatever added time we get. And the home side hang on and continue to have a clean slate against Richmond here at home. Where the Kickers have another late goal in store. They were able to find one from Terzaghi last weekend. Ball swinging in for Terzaghi. Now Bentley! He can't get to it again. Getting bodied into the goal is Kapazuki. Another great service from Bima. And just crunching into each other are Bentley and Kapazuki. Kapazuki is slow to get up. Kind of got rolled on top of by the striker. He's back up on his feet and swinging once again. Kapazuki been a busy individual today. Both him and Jorge Luna had their hands full, making sure that Terzaghi doesn't get the looks he wants. And now some more firepower coming in. David Olson going to come into the game for Matthew Bentley, so that was our last look at the Englishman. Olson coming in, hailing from the same place as Darren Sawatsky up in Washington State. And he scored in their Open Cup game, and they'll be looking to see if he could provide that kind of spark here today. David Olson, just 10 minutes of league play. Baima, some nifty moves. He's getting crunched from every angle. And a challenge, irking the fan base. But Joshua Belk says fair play. Tackle there from Leonardo Baima. Will end up being a Chattanooga goal kick either way. Teixeira gets knocked down by Moran. He has to be careful. He's already in the books. As time continues to tick off here. Chattanooga looking for win number 2 on the season. Jimmy Obleda looking for his 20th league win as the head coach of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Given the results of these other games, the winner would sit atop the table. Of course, we're so early in the season. We still have to wait for things to really shape out before the table is really worth analyzing deeply. But 3 points are 3 points, and they count the same now as they do in October. As this ball comes flying in, couldn't connect with Olsen. And out they go. Another goal kick for the Red Wolves. So tons of time left in this one. 5 minutes of stoppage time. Candela switches it to the left side. And now Baima will go into the books. Actually, I'm going to say it's Nathan Pawnee. The one collecting the yellow card. Both him and Baima are in that vicinity. But Ani the one who will collect it. Shera was able to bobble that one through a couple of Kickers players before finally being dispossessed. Here's a long one forward for Olsen, but just a little bit too far out of his reach. And Aviles could fall on top of it and chew out more of this clock here. Although that doesn't go into Red Wolves' possession, it serves as more seconds ticking away. My clearance hovering down the field. And Richmond now have to take the time to progress back up the pitch. 3 more minutes to go. Hernandez plays it out to his left. Ends up back in the possession of Stephen Payne. Ritchie chips it to Bima. Candela. A little combination here. It's well tracked down by Benton, and he clears it away. It was looking like a promising moment for Richmond, but Devin Benton was not having it. Barnathan rolls it all the way up to Olsen. It's a good clearance. 2 more minutes to go. Moran chips this one into the penalty area, square towards the middle, punched away by Aviles. And Aviles is down. Once again, distaste being displayed. Chattanooga looking to hold on and see this one out to the whistle. And Aviles needs some assistance here as Joshua Belk is flocked by appealing Red Wolf players. And Emiliano Terzaghi is in the books, collecting a yellow card. Not a bad opportunity, but the Richmond side unable to capitalize and instead earn a booking. Aviles back up on his feet. He's looking to keep this one through. Looks like he has to get waved back on since he got checked. A couple of young fans by the goal. Seeing an inspiring performance from their new #1 goalkeeper. Looking for their first home victory of the season. They gave up a late game equalizer to Fort Madison at the death in their home opener. The goal is to not repeat that offense here today against Richmond. We've passed the 5-minute mark. Of course, we had quite a bit of dead time there. So now it's all up to Joshua Belk on what he decides is the conclusion of this game. I'm hearing 2 more minutes of added time. So don't be surprised if this one reaches the 97-minute mark. And we continue.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has presented the
Final just finished between Union Omaha and Tormenta. A 0-0 draw there. Floating out, headed away, Payne. Headed away by Andres Hernandez. That one not only able to be cleared, but also kept in play, just flying along the touchline. And Candela drawing the foul. This may be the last chance for the Richmond Kickers. It's a free kick from long range. Baima has been good on some of these services, though. This is from a different spot on the pitch, though. Here he comes, header towards goal. And Vincenzo Candela can't put it on frame. And there's the final whistle. The Chattanooga Red Wolves stay perfect at home against the Richmond Kickers. A 1-0 victory to put them at 7 points on the season. A goal at the 50th minute for Mo Espinoza. And Jimmy Ableda will be happy that his team hung on tight and saw this one through for 90 plus. And he will ask for all the noise his fans can provide. A good effort from his team. They looked the better part as we see our final score presented by Smart Bank. Experience Smart Bank. Your final score 1-0 in favor of the home side. And now we're going to see our play of the match. The goal provided by Sunny 92.3. A blasting effort from Mo Espinoza. Great touch from Lombardi. Mentingen squares it. A bouncing ball. So you have to keep that one from flying all over the crossbar. And Espinoza left no doubt about it. And it's party time here at CHI Memorial Stadium. That was our, once again, our Sunny 92.3 move of the match. And there is our player of the match, Mo Espinoza. His first ever League One goal, his first goal as a Red Wolf. And he is your ASA Engineering and Consulting man of the match. We're going to step aside for a moment. When we come back, we'll have full-time highlights and stats and our closing thoughts here on ESPN+.
If your tamer passions include climbing, hang gliding, and river surfing, some may call you a hair-on-fire risk taker. We'd say, nah. They might not realize you're also a nonconformist, craft curator, history buff, art-loving experience collector. But ask a Chattanoogan, we just call you one of us.
What's the latest buzz? It's Ford's fresh lineup of SUVs. Get great offers on the vehicles people are talking about, like Ford Escape, an SUV that drives like a car, Bronco Sport, where the terrain never intimidates, and Ford Explorer, the all-time best-selling SUV. Need we say more? Don't wait. Find out what all the buzz is about at your local Ford dealer. For the latest offers on Ford SUVs or to build and order your select Ford, visit your local Ford dealer today.
Good times, bad times, and everything in between. Your primary care doctor is with you all the way.
As we take a look at our shot of the match, or save of the match first off, from Chattanooga Hotel. It was a look from Matthew Bolduc, suffered a deflection, but that didn't keep Carlos Aviles from getting his fists on that one to knock it away. A brave performance on several counts from Aviles tonight, collecting his first clean sheet of the League One season and his first clean sheet as a Chattanooga Red Wolf. And then we'll take a look over here at our, look at that, some great footwork from Mo Espinoza. And that is our shot of the match, brought to you by Amigos. Some fancy footwork from Espinoza, working on Richie. And now, let's take a look at our full-time highlights, brought to you by CHI Memorial. A slow start to the game, both sides just poking and prodding, trying to make something happen. With one shot on target total in the first 45, it was Aaron Lombardi making the look towards goal. As you can see here, puts his laces through it. Akira Fitzgerald did well in the night. Anytime he had the capability of his name being called. But this moment, no hope for Fitzgerald. Mo Espinoza. A lot of fire singeing off of that ball after he let that one fly, rattling the net, and made it happen. And then as the game went on, Weima subbed in, made an impact, but Bentley couldn't put this one away. I think that's the moment the Richmond Kickers faithful will look at and think, oh man, that's the one that got away right there. Those full-time highlights brought to you by CHI Memorial as we now look at our Smart Bank full-time stats. Richmond had possession, but Chattanooga looked the side more potent, as you can see by the shots on target as well. They were the side that tested Akira Fitzgerald. They were the side that put some good shots, some good crosses among the 18-yard box. And ultimately, the Richmond Kickers didn't have too many great threatening moments of substance. And at the end of the day, the Red Wolves, the deserving 1-0 victors here at home. With that in mind, that is the end of our broadcast. If you still need a League One fix, we have got one more game today, and it's taking place in Tucson in about 10 to 15 minutes. So if you still need more, you can watch it there. But for this game, and our entire broadcasting crew, my name is Mark Schoenster saying thank you for watching. So long, and I hope you all have a good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.